What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode 5 of the More Smarter Show. We have our first guest here, Frank. He's actually one of the best cameramen and social media minds in the world, in the country, apparently. So
the world.
In
the world, in our world, yeah. So we asked Frank some great questions. We're not going to spoil the interview, but he does talk about his business and his job and how he sort of interacts between the two of them and what his visions are for the future.
Exactly. So enjoy it. Jake, where'd you get that shirt?
Dylan, nice shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, the texture is actually the best part about it. So maybe later I can let you feel it.
Where'd you get it?
I don't know. Actually, it might have been a present. So
you packed that shirt. You were like, "Hey, I'm gonna wear this shirt for the podcast because this is our second recording today. So both of our shirts are in our backpacks." Yeah. And that was
I love how you want to bring that up every single time.
That was one
every single time. You
no, well, I'm only bringing it up because that's the one you chose. Frank, we'll get to you in a minute. So I'm just curious. Why now?
So this is actually like my kind of like a going out kind of thing.
Yeah,
and
it looks like
feel good type of shirt. It fits good. Fits the scrunches on the biceps.
Where do you go out with that shirt? Got it. All right.
My mom's probably watching this, so I don't know if I get. Now you go out to bars. You play. I run really good pool wearing this shirt. I run the table.
Okay.
So
run pool. I didn't know that was
run pool. Yeah, you run the
pinball
table.
wizard. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we got Frank here. So Frank, welcome to the More Smarter Show podcast and being our first ever guest.
Yes.
Want to tell us a little bit about why you're here and what you do and all those things?
I am the social media guy for Foundation Title, and also
social media guy. Is that the official title?
There's no title.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here to help. And also, I own a production company with my friends, and we're the ones running your podcast. So
yeah,
we're here.
So, that'll probably be more the focus.
Yes.
That leg of what you do. We'll probably ask you questions about that. But yeah, so Foundation Title, you work with them, and we are sponsored by them. So thank you, Frank and Foundation, for that. And let's kick us off here.
Yeah. So I'm actually interested. I never heard of this. How did you even get started with Foundation Title?
Well, that's an easy one. So I don't know. I guess I needed a job last year because I was working at Fanatics, and I wasn't really a fan of Fanatics. My wife, Allie, has been a processor here for about 2 years. And there was a whole shift in leadership in the company, and their vision was that they wanted to make it more modern.
Nice.
In how they promoted.
Like that shirt.
Exactly. Very modern.
Okay.
Shirt, very modern. That's how we'll describe it. They wanted a shift in how they promote the business. And the business had always been I guess they do a lot of those meet and greet type of deals. But they said hey, we do need to start being modern on social media. Let's do some videos. Let's do some show our people on camera. And Allie specifically said, my husband, fiance at the time, films wrestling. It should be pretty simple to jump in there. And I also have a master's degree in social media, professional communication type of deal. So, and I had always been looking for a job in specifically social media or marketing because I want to learn marketing. I think marketing is just such a cool industry to be in, regardless of what you do. Marketing is cool. So Charlene and I, she's my boss, we had a whole conversation, and it should have been a 5-minute thing. We turned it into a 45-minute full phone call. We're both bouncing ideas back with each other, and she's like, "This isn't even really an interview, but I feel like you work." And I was like, "Well, listen, if you have an opening, whatever." So she ended up hiring me. Position was kind of her idea, her baby, whatever. She was just giving me ideas, bouncing back ideas, hey, this is what we should do. And I was like, listen, anything you want to do, I really want to do it. I carry around the camera with me all the time. I just want to film people. I want to film our agents. I want to promote what we do so that people can see Foundation Title is very modern with how they're doing their ideas, but they're also been around for 20 something years.
Yeah.
You know, you can trust them when it comes to title. Title is pretty important in the real estate life.
Yeah.
And they're people you can trust. So I want to promote that, and I just enjoy putting stuff on camera. So I don't know. That's how I got involved.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool, and I love the passion you have for it.
I do.
Anyone that has passion for something, I always love hearing about it. So, And so you got your master's degree in kind of social media and doing the marketing side of it too.
My professor's brother from William Patterson, my professor, like the head professor of the whole department, her brother is who invented Instagram Story, and he invented Nike ID. So we got to go to the Instagram offices, like / Facebook offices. He like showed us around. It was honestly one of the coolest like experiences ever. Like we really got to see like the behind the scenes of this stuff.
Yeah,
doesn't really help you considering that their algorithm changes on a weekly basis
all the time.
But like you get an idea of like, hey, like this is what you really should be promoting.
Yeah. That's awesome. Wow.
So do you face challenges? You mentioned how title is so important and like serious.
Yeah.
And maybe title and social media like aren't like those
rough.
two don't go together
They don't.
necessarily,
They do
right?
not. They do
Because
not.
social media is like fun.
Yeah.
Like generally speaking.
I'm trying. I really try to sit there every day and I think of ideas of like what can we do on camera to make people go like, okay, this is a very serious topic, but I enjoy the way that they like talk about it.
Yeah.
So like my whole goal isn't to make title like this fun thing online because it's not a fun. It's insurance. At the
It's
end of
not
the day,
fun.
is it, right?
And,
Like,
and if you know who your title company is, sometimes that's a bad thing because you have to use some sort of insurance or some policy.
I want people to like see our profiles and just be like, oh, I'm so familiar with their name. Like I like seeing their name.
Exactly.
Like if
Brand
you have a real
recognition.
estate issue, like oh, I keep seeing these title people online. Have you ever heard of them? Foundation title. That's where I want to be. Like one of the big things that we learned in our master's program was social media is about parasocial relationships. I don't know if you guys know like what parasocial means. It's kind of like some YouTuber that you like seeing every single day, right? Like it could be anyone. I'm trying. Good Mythical Morning is who I watch. Like they do like food reviews every single day. At some point, you're like 3-4 years watching them every single day. You feel like they're your friends.
Yeah.
Right? Is that not like a feeling that you get? Like if you see the same Instagram people, the same YouTube person, same Facebook.
Yeah.
Like you feel at some point we have a friendship.
Yeah.
You don't know them in real life. You have never actually interacted with them other than watching them. Parasocial means through this screen, we have built a relationship. And when you're a YouTuber or a video person of some kind, your goal is to create these parasocial relationships. It leads you to have millions of subscribers. And now all of a sudden, anything that you do with your name on it, people are like, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And
Because there's trust there inherent.
That's basically all you can do as a marketing / social media person for any industry.
Yeah.
It's easier with like makeup and stuff that
Right.
people are going to buy makeup. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
true.
But like for title, I'm not necessarily impacting sales, but people do tell my boss like, hey, I like the way you guys are doing your social media. Like it's definitely gotten better than it was before. Like how maybe you can help me sometime.
And plus, in the long game, that does impact sales, right?
Yeah,
Indirectly
absolutely.
at first.
especially in modern age, like it used to be like
It's only more and more. Yeah.
Exactly.
before what people are going door to door trying to sell title insurance to all these agents, lawyers, whatever.
Right.
Now we can go online and promote what we do, and people will be like, "Listen, I want to work with these guys. Like, maybe I should throw them a couple orders, see what's up."
Yeah.
Ryan Serhant is like this monster of a name because he's on Netflix, right? Like his social media presence is insane. Like you just want to like get to his level of social media presence for something, an industry that's not
your
even
realm.
like that exciting. You want to be part of his social media level.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many people that don't do that, that are in title, that don't do that sort of stuff.
Don't want to.
It really, true. It's making a, by the book, boring business fun. And that should almost be like exciting of its own. It's like you're changing the mantra of what this business actually is. So doing that is probably pretty cool.
It's just, I mean, like, I don't know. It's hard because not everyone is into it. I guess like the younger agents are down, your wife, down to do videos. She's like, I was like, hey, listen, I just scrolled through Instagram for the last 3 hours. I just found 13 ideas. Are you down to do all of them? She's like, yeah. So she like rolled in the lobby over there, and it was like it came out to be a pretty decent video. Like whatever, like we can go outside, do videos. We could do like whatever kind of trending videos, and we just gotta figure out how to make it about title.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's like the hard part is figuring out how to put trending videos into a topic that matters to my company's thing, but like
Right.
it's rough.
So this is the More Smarter show. So let's pivot to outside of Foundation Title things you do, like other. You mentioned you filmed wrestling.
Right. We
So
own a
talk
production
about all
company.
that. Production company. Yeah.
We've been doing pro wrestling now for 7 or 8 years. A lot of our business that we used to do is basically like we cut a lot of people deals. Like we'll do it for free. We're just trying to build our experience, which is something you've talked about like the quantity that you used to do and you used to put in all that time and effort. And at some point you're like, man, like we've done a lot of work and we have not made that much money.
Yeah.
And then we started like, charging people. And then, eventually people were like, oh, you're going to be a little expensive. And then we were like, honestly, isn't that good? I feel like that's really good for us.
Yeah,
I was like,
wow. I love that.
So at some point we kind of priced ourselves out of a lot of companies, but the companies that we still do deals with, we've known for 8 years, whatever. But most of the companies we're doing now, if you can't really afford us, we're not going to work for you.
So your clientele is other companies, not necessarily individuals.
Companies. Yeah. It's like pro wrestling companies, promoters will want to book us. Our main specialty is live streaming. We're very good at live streaming.
Gotcha.
We live stream on YouTube. We live stream on like Triller TV. It's like a boxing combat sports thing.
Yeah.
That's our main specialty. So people will pay more because they know we're not going to mess up. It's going to be good. You're going to get replays. You're going to get all this cool stuff, and
it'll live forever.
And it will live forever. We at one show that we did 4 years ago was the #1 trending topic in the world.
Really?
On a not
cool.
WWE. It was like an independent wrestling show.
Oh, really?
And it was the #1 trending topic in the world over the UFC and the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty sick.
Yeah.
And like that's like in our resume.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
definitely should be.
Top line.
Yeah.
Pretty sick. Yeah. So I mean, like people know our work around the country. I mean, like at this point, we've filmed in Florida, we filmed in Alaska, we filmed in Jersey. Like we got a resume.
That's awesome. So breaking it down a little bit more, it's a more smarter show. So we're going level by level. You are putting in these hours and you're kind of doing a lot of the stuff for free or maybe at a discounted price, just get the experience and all of your promotion out there. At what point did you say, we have to start charging more because we need more money to make this like happen, or it's like now we're really good and we need to we can start charging more? Like what's like your thought process there when like?
So I want to say like the first 3 years we didn't charge. Like the first year or two, we didn't really charge much. Then we started charging a little bit more, but it wasn't for us to bring home money. It was like Mike O'Neill, me, 2 other people maybe, and we weren't taking in any money. We weren't not even $10. Once in a while, we'd maybe like give ourselves back gas money.
Yeah.
But all we were putting all that money into was our business, buying better equipment, like making sure that our equipment was always up to date. There was always a new camera to buy. There's always a new computer to buy. There's always new audio stuff to buy. So we kept doing that and reinvesting in the business over and over and over. And then one day we were like, yo, we really should be making some kind of this sucks, dude.
We've all been there with businesses. Yeah.
So, we did reinvest a lot. So then we started saying, all right, we should at least like pay ourselves something. Like, geez, every show we're going to, we're like going home with nothing. And Allie's like, hey, you should probably make some kind of money.
Make some money.
O'Neill's got the same thing. O'Neill's got an apartment to pay for. Mike's got a house to pay for. Like, so eventually we started paying ourselves like per show that we do. We don't like have a salary or anything, but like if we work, we're going to get paid.
Yeah.
And we've built it to now we charge enough where we can still invest in our business because we do still have bills to pay. We got stuff to like pay for, like programs and whatever, like Dropbox costs monthly, whatever. We always have new wires because the wires get broken every 3 weeks, apparently. So we always got new stuff to buy. But so we're reinvesting in the business, but we're also finally making money and like we can pay for our apartments, we can pay for our cars, we can actually like live off of what we do. Try not to. It should be a side gig at the end of the day. So we try to make it our side gig money. But yeah, we're starting to we got a big deal that we just like closed on. Like it's pretty sick.
Let's go.
Do you mind like talking about that big deal a little bit without maybe sharing as many details as?
Yeah, I don't think it's anything secret.
I don't know. You just
like,
closed, so it sounds like it's like new.
So like there's obviously in the world of like wrestling, there's WWE. That's a big one that everyone has known for whatever. Then there's like their rival companies called AEW. AEW is like on TBS, TNT. They have this thing where they stopped for a little while, but they have a convention, like a fan convention for their big pay-per-views, right?
Okay.
It's called StarCast. They do like it's like a deal that they split with this guy Conrad that we've been working with for about 7 years. Conrad is Ric Flair's son-in-law.
Okay.
Pretty big deal. He also sells insurance, which
Wow.
pretty crazy, right? He's like a big home seller in Alabama, actually. Like big deal, dude. So we've been working with him for forever. He got us like involved with StarCast. We used to like film for free for him for like the longest time. Did a lot of like deals and all that shit for him. Sorry.
Nah, yeah, you're good.
And he was like, listen, like we were like, do you need us? And he was like, took a couple of days to come back, and he was like, yeah, like I got approved by AEW that we can use you guys. And I was like, all right, let's talk. So like he was like, I'm not paying for it, but if you guys want to make an invoice and the big company will pay for it for your services, so why not ChatGPT?
Nice. Working
And
smarter
like,
right there.
hey,
More
ChatGPT,
smarter.
help me out with like this invoice that we need to create for what we're charging. We need to make sure that we're charging for the labor. We need to charge for our flights. We got to make sure we charge for the gear rental, blah, blah, blah. So ChatGPT helped me out. Got a nice invoice. Got approved. It was the biggest deal that we've ever done.
Wow.
That's
Pretty
awesome.
big time. It's double what we usually get for like big time companies because we work for other big time companies, but like, usually they're like, I don't know. I'm not sure to pay
So
you.
AEW, is that what it's called?
is paying us directly.
They're hiring you.
Technically,
to film.
Jacksonville Jaguars is paying us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you probably undercharge.
Yeah.
We're talking about a $1
but
billion
like-
company.
Yeah.
But yeah, but since it's undercharging, but like we do want to do more deals.
Yeah,
and I feel like
yeah.
for
It's such a
first
good foot
big
in the
deal,
door, it sounds like. It's
And I want us to do such a great job that they tell us that we undercharge them.
Yeah.
Like, that's my goal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you gave yourself a promotion, which we had said in previous episodes. In this, entrepreneurship, no one gives you a promotion. You have to do it for
Do it
yourself.
for yourself, yeah. And it seems like somewhere along that 7 years too, you did that step by step where it's like you're undercutting yourself from the very beginning, and then you were like, you know what, we need that promotion, and then now it's the same exact thing. So it's just
working.
continuing to level up. Now you guys, this is like a side gig for you guys right now. Is the end goal to make this like?
For sure. I mean, we did try really hard when AEW first started. We really wanted to get full-time jobs. Like that was like a big goal for us.
It makes sense.
We worked backstage for them a couple times. We were working on TV for them. We did some pay-per-views. Like that was like our goal. We were like, we really want to work full-time for a wrestling company. Then you realize that working full-time for wrestling is rough, dude.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's hard to get into. People will undercut you. Like they'll go after you. Like I don't know. It's like such a crazy world, which I'm sure like in other businesses is the same thing. So I'm not saying it's just like a wrestling thing. But like somebody like straight up promised us that she was going to get us a job when she gets hired. The moment she got hired, just
Ghosted.
peace out.
Yeah.
Like, done with us.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And like
Good.
we don't.
Better off.
Yeah.
Every person we've ever talked to about her has always said,
says-
"Oh, she sucks." We know.
Oh, jeez.
Like it turned out that we were just the idiots that didn't know
That believed
this
it.
about her. But
Yeah.
whatever. It's no big deal. I don't care. Like that was a couple years ago. But like we have continued to just do our own thing and just worry about indie wrestling and like our live streaming stuff and just being really good. And eventually, AEW got this new head producer. Come to find out that he's really good friends with this woman that like advises us. She's a MTV producer, and she is very good at like advising us and making sure that we're at least charging what we deserve to be charging, and at least like continuing in the path that we should. And they're best friends since high school, and so the head producer of AEW knows who we are, knows that we work really hard, has seen our stuff, has complimented our stuff.
Damn.
So when it was time for that invoice to go to AEW, and he's the one that has to approve it, he said, "Yeah,
That's awesome.
And like we don't
Connections.
Because you know it's good. He knows he doesn't have to worry about you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
is
feel like
priceless.
our reputation has gone to where we need it to be, and we haven't gotten those full-time jobs, but there is always a chance.
I was about to say, so right now, you're invoicing them as pretty much them outsourcing the work.
Yep.
So let me ask you this: if all three of you guys were offered full-time jobs right now, good salaries, benefits,
Easy. Put them on the spot like this.
would you do that route, or would you kind of just still want to be doing all of your stuff on your own? And
the good thing for me, so me specifically, because I can't answer for O'Neal and Mike and blah blah blah. But like the good thing for me, I work from home.
Yeah.
So I could potentially do both jobs, and it won't matter because they fly in on Tuesday, they work full day Wednesday, they're back home Thursday.
Yeah.
For me, bring my laptop, make sure I'm doing my job for foundation throughout the morning, whatever, and then I can work that other job, and I get 2 salaries, and I can still do
gotcha. So more of what I was trying to ask with that was,
Would I
let's
drop
just
it?
say let's just say foundation's not a thing. Like let's say you're still somehow able to do it. What I'm saying is you have to give up the production business on your own. Like you're running a business now.
If we
so
had to
they
give
had
it
to
up
give that
completely?
up completely, give up the entrepreneur dream, or to take this
Gotcha.
full-time job and have a good salary and benefits and all that.
I feel like you can't turn down the salary and benefits, man. I
You
don't
know we're gonna push you away from that.
I
you
know. I
that.
listen and I get it, but like I want kids. I'm trying to, if my wife
And your
was
kids
like,
want money.
it's just the entrepreneurial stuff is hard.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I know. Like I like finding us ways. We started doing Pee Wee sports,
Nice.
dude. Money.
Yeah.
So
Money.
in the entrepreneurship, right?
Yes.
I was listening to this other podcast, second best podcast in the world. I forget what it's called, but it's not this. And this person was talking about how when you start dealing, I'll say dealing with, but doing business with the upper class of people financially
Yeah.
in our industry of real estate agent, I know how much money my client has by how quickly they sign the contract. If they have a ton of money, they'll sign the contract within seconds because it's a rounding error. If it's $50K or $500K, it's a rounding error. If we're dealing with condos, every inch of the inspection matters.
Yeah.
And for your business, it sounds like you're in with the potential Jacksonville Jaguars, AEW, Pee Wee Sports, in a massive way.
Yeah.
Stick with that because those are the people that will write you a blank check.
Exactly.
And you're solving a problem for them.
That
And then
is
here's
definitely
the other thing too is we're going with like the client base. It's almost like when people work really hard to accomplish like their success that they have, they see other people doing the exact same thing. They're like, I want that person to get paid. So that's happened to me with clients before, where it's like the deal's almost about to fall through, because of the other side. And the clients that I've been working with, they're like, we're gonna make sure that we pay you even if this deal doesn't close. And it's like, it's awesome.
It's a good
And
reputation.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But then when that happens, it's like, oh, like obviously I'm like, oh no, like don't worry about it. Like it's my job to like help you close. But at the end of the day, it's like they only are doing that because they've gotten to a level of success to appreciate a professional when they're being helped
They
out.
want their problem solved.
Exactly. So that's the same exact thing with you. And it's like the more you guys get up to that higher echelon, it's gonna be easier. And it's the same thing of talking about like,
it's just the only thing, because it is a little different when it comes to our wrestling production end, is that there is limits. Like there's definitely limits when it comes to indie wrestling, like with companies, what they're willing to pay. When it comes to like those big time TV companies, that's a different story. You can definitely get to like a livable wage. When it comes to indie wrestling, it's very hard. So like our clientele is like, they're fighting you over $50.
Oh, really?
wow.
So
That's what I was saying
That's
to
a
avoid.
different-
we're fighting over 50, and it becomes really tiring when you're like, dude, we've been doing this stuff for you for a while. Like, we can't get paid like $600.
No, that's
Yeah.
what. Yeah, well, I think we're all saying the same
We're-
thing.
yeah.
So I agree with
We
you
were
guys
under the
in that.
impression, I think that it was a bigger client.
We want to just work with
Yeah.
bigger clients. There is still parts of us that like working with the smaller companies. We do like the foot in the door wrestler.
Yep.
I enjoy watching some dude start their first match and then like 5 years later they're on TV. that's like a passion that we enjoy doing. We like being part of that journey.
Yeah.
When it comes to money, though, like, it is rough, dude.
Yeah.
It is rough. Time. But no, sure. I edit it, right? So like I do listen to your guys' like discussions, and I do think that a lot of it fits into like what we do want in terms of like money wise and deals and all that stuff. It is some limits that we hit, but I don't know. At some point we want to get there. If there was a day where you can get a real estate level commission for a wrestling show, I'm good, dude. I'd be set. But it's rough, but I do see a lot of similarities with what you guys talk about and where we are at with negotiating.
That's awesome. So diving a little bit more deep into the actual like side of production of it, do you think that you said like all like WWE and all these like big companies there with TNT and all these big TV businesses. Do you ever think that, I think we're seeing this in podcasts where like news anchors on like Fox and CNN are getting outviewed by like Joe Rogan and all of them. Do you ever see WWE or, you know, any of these wrestling programs that being outshined by, you know, production companies like you? And like if that is the case, like that's where like doubling down really would come into effect.
I don't think we can ever really outshine them because they're a $1 billion company that can just really push us down if they really want to. Like if we were really competition, they could just throw us down. They're owned by the same company as UFC and all that stuff, right? Like WWE is like a whole monster. AEW, they're very good at what they do. I don't think we touch that. Whenever we have discussions, because like there are people in our group that talk about like, oh, we should be like producers for like so and so. I'm like, can we live in reality? Like our reality is that we're very, very good at what we do. Like it's probably us and two other people maybe in the entire country that can do our level of work. They're talking about a whole different level. If we stay in our lane, we're gonna make a ton of money. Crazy.
I think that's cool. Yeah.
I don't know. Working on TV is a goal because of how much money, but you are right when it comes to like we're really good at what we do. So like at some point, like I see what Pee Wee sports people are making, and they have a livable wage filming varsity and Pee Wee sports. If we get good enough where we're taking that over, I'm set.
Yeah,
to be honest. Pee Wee sports, dude. It should not be that much money involved. These people, Morris County.
It's probably only getting more.
They're like, how much do you want to film our kids? And we're like, whatever you want to offer.
Makes sense.
There's money in there. So, I mean, eventually I think we're going to shift away from wrestling as much because there is a lot more money to be made in sports.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's passion. I don't know.
Yeah. True. Yeah. And I think it's diving deeper into who your enemy is, I guess, or your competitor. So it's not
enemy.
Enemy.
Well,
when I said enemy, I was thinking of Patrick Bet-David has a book of like choosing your enemies wisely and like who you're going to be competing against. That's why I said that. But your competitor, was a better word, I guess, isn't WWE. You know, it's those two other people. Now it's as long as you take up the market share from those other people and figuring out.
Luckily for us, they're on the West Coast.
Well then you dominated all of the East.
Yeah. The really good one is in the West Coast in LA. They're good friends with us, so like it's not really much of a competition. We kind of like collaborate a little bit, but like that's really our only competition is out there. So we really lucked out that we work so hard. We have dudes that actually know what they're talking about. O'Neill is in bands. He's currently in a band right now. If you guys are ever interested in doing karaoke, Emo Night Karaoke, pretty sick band.
Love it.
They're going to be at Dingbats July 26th, and you can literally go on stage and sing with his band backing you up.
Where is that?
Dingbats in Clifton.
That's an awesome idea.
Honestly, I was going to invite you guys.
Yeah,
you guys should go. It's honestly like
July 26th.
That's
July
the day
26th.
After Happy Gilmore 2 comes out. So,
I'll
be available.
What a celebration!
Back-to-back days.
If you guys want to come, it's going to be a good time. So Allie and I are going. I invite a bunch of people. I think it's going to be a pretty sick time. If you want to go on stage, I'll film it.
I love karaoke.
Let's go.
But like things like that. Like O'Neill's like an expert in audio. We have Mike who watches so many YouTube videos. He knows everything about video. We have Ash who's like the biggest nerd that I've ever met in my entire life, but he knows everything about production because he's been wrestling for like 25 years. Like it's that level of having a good team that makes us why we're good. I'm good at social media. I like filming random stuff. So our social media for our wrestling stuff is pretty big time. Like I think we have like 40,000 followers across like 3 platforms.
Wow.
Like,
it's awesome.
For a production company. Like you're following a bunch of nerds. Like that's
and it's also like that's got to be really high in a niche. Like pro wrestling is pretty niche.
Yeah.
Like
we have 20,000 followers on Facebook. I don't have no idea why. We have like 8,000 on Twitter, 8,000 on Instagram, like another 2 or 3 on TikTok. Like there's no reason why people follow us other than our videos are very nice. Our audio is always really nice. Yeah. And they're like, I want to watch what they're putting out because it looks cool.
So do you ever get concerned that you're going to break that niche because if you're going to switch to like Pee Wee football and you're not going to probably post about that, but maybe you will, I don't know.
We post a couple. We tried to get it on ESPN for SportsCenter because some of the touchdowns were pretty sick. This one little kid was like Josh Allen 2.0. But I mean, like I think parents like seeing their kids' stuff online because they want their kids to be the next viral baby Gronk. If we're filming it and it looks really cool, they're going to be like, all right, put this online. We'll follow you. We filmed Elizabeth basketball, I think, was winning the Morris County tournament, Union County tournament. And they won the tournament. We posted a video on Instagram, and like the entire town of Elizabeth started retweeting it and putting it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it still applies.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to break the niche though? So like, there's people in the real estate industry where it's like you have a market, and that this is like your sphere of what you focus on. And if they go outside of that, now it's like, all right. And then like Jake would talk about this too, where it's like on his social media, he doesn't want to just be the realtor posting about real estate stuff.
He's got a ton of followers.
Yeah. Whether he bought them or not, it's up for debate. But
I won't judge. It's okay.
I would judge.
But when you break the niche, then you kind of you might lose a little bit of something. I don't really know.
But
maybe
you don't
what
think
it
like
is.
Pee Wee football is still a niche?
Well, it is a
still
niche.
No, I'm sorry.
Definitely.
It's still close enough to wrestling. It's still sports. You know, he's not
sports.
filming. You know,
but
podcast. Actually, he is.
Shout out podcast.
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't watch. Like I don't really watch pro wrestling, but I might watch Pee Wee football or Pee Wee baseball.
I don't know. I feel like I get what you're saying about like the niche
With that shirt
and like our like I feel like you're saying our audience follows us because they know that what we do in a specific thing.
Not only because of that, but like people.
I think at some point when other like sports related people see our wrestling stuff, they start like asking questions about that, and it's the same thing the opposite way. And I feel like they would start caring about one or the other, and if we then continue on to combat sports like MMA, they will also care about that.
I definitely agree.
I feel like we're kind of like in this like space where we're really good at production, we're really good at making things look nice, and then we could post it online, and it's just people are just like, what is this that you're doing? Like, let me ask you a question about what you're filming with this MMA stuff, or let me ask you a question about Pee Wee football. Can you film for my town? Like, it's definitely not just like very specifically pro wrestling. I think people just see that we're really good at what people are always looking for. We started doing Afghan soccer league. I have no idea.
I bet on that.
Really strange. Yeah. Do you really?
No.
There was one in Bergen County.
But in my prime, I probably would have.
So it's I feel like it started as being very centered to pro wrestling, but now that people see that we can expand to other things like news or podcasts or whatever, and still carry the same quality.
Got to brand it that way.
They can be like, okay, so like that's why we used to called GoPro Wrestling. That used to be our name. Now it's GPW Productions.
It's a level up right there.
There we go. Nice.
Now people can't be like, oh, you only do pro wrestling. Like, nah.
Do they ever ask you what it stands for? You ever seen War AUY? Yeah.
I just lie.
Get out of here.
Like GPW, it just means GPW.
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
Don't worry about it.
All right, we should wrap this up.
Cool.
But yeah, that was great. Everyone go like, subscribe, and follow Frank. Frank, where do they find you? Where do they?
GPW Productions on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Blue Sky.
and other social medias for the future when this video lives on forever.
Yes,
Forever.
exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Boom.
Awesome. See ya.